Hello everyone, today we're going to see how to download Eclipse. So let's go ahead. You can just tap Eclipse download, and the first link should take you to Eclipse website. And since my system is 64-bit, I'm going to download 64-bit. So yep, you can just go ahead and download it. Download now. Okay, so you can just save it anywhere you want. I'm just gonna put it in downloads. This should get downloaded pretty quick. So it's 52 MB, and it just took me a couple of seconds to download. So go ahead and open this in folder. Alright, just double click on that. So you need to have Java JDK installed in your system. So if you don't have that, you can go ahead and quickly check my other video how to get them. That just takes like 5 minutes downloading them, installing them and adding them to a class path. So once you're done with that, you can go ahead and get Eclipse. Okay, so started the installation. It's on the other screen. Let us just wait for it so that I can drag it over to my screen. Eclipse. Alright. Okay, so you get a screen like this. Most of the people prefer enterprise Java developers. You can choose that or Eclipse committers, you can go with either of them. So I'll be needing a lot of Maven. Let's see if this one has it. So we're gonna go with the enterprise Java developers. So since we're going to be doing a lot of web services and Maven, so we can go ahead and, with the enterprise Java developer edition. So let's double click that. You can just do install. So this is going to automatically recognize your JRE folder. If not, you can just manually enter it and just do install, accept. This should be a fairly quick process. All right. So you can use Eclipse. You can make all your files to jar. You can commit your code to GitHub or Bitbucket or any repositories. Having an IDE is better, but I would suggest you start the coding with command line and then shift to IDE instead of directly jumping to IDE, because there are some things you might miss on, because you'll need how to rerun the jar, which you may not do it through IDE. You will be using a lot of command line. So I suggest going through a command line, start your coding from there, and then switch to IDE, because IDE really makes everything easy, and it might be a little bit of hassle to run your code in future if you're just starting with the IDE. So always start with the command line. So once you get familiar with that, once you get familiar with the commands, compiling, getting the jar file, how to execute jar file with main class, how to execute the jar file without main class in the manifest, you'll just find all the errors that you might face in the future. So I suggest just start with the command line. Just check how to download jars, how to import, how to build it manually. So Eclipse does everything for you. If you have a pom.xml for Maven, we'll go into that. Having IDE makes everything simple. This hides all the backend work, so you might just need to be a little bit familiar with all the stuff, but we'll see that soon. So let's just wait for the installation. just taking some time, but it's fine because this is a one-time installation. You're going to be developing a lot of stuff on top of Eclipse, so I think it's worth the wait. I'm gonna just go ahead and pause the video and we'll continue once this is done. Alright, so we are done installing. You can just see the screen. You can go ahead and click launch, and you should be able to see your Eclipse starting up. So you can create your repositories, import your projects. You can even directly clone your repository, which is a good thing. You don't have to use command line, you don't have to use git bash. You can directly put your credentials and the repository link, and your project should directly get imported to Eclipse. So I'm just gonna show you how the Eclipse IDE looks like. You're just gonna wait for it to start. This is gonna take maybe a couple of seconds. We're just gonna wait. Alright, so this is how it will look like. You can just select your workspace. If you don't have one, it will just create it, and you can just go ahead and look your workbench. So if you have any projects, you need to import it again. That will just create a metadata file. So you should just be able to see your workbench opening up in Eclipse. So I'm just going to show it to you in a couple of seconds. So it's starting Eclipse IDE. Let's go ahead and see. Alright, so the ID is up. Let me just drag it to the screen. You can go ahead and check the workbench. You can just click workbench, so that will open your space. You can just import, create your project, change your perspectives. So we're going to see that in the next videos. I guess that's about it. So your Eclipse is ready. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.